If you put $10,000 in Bitcoin at the beginning of this year, you would have about $20,000 right now. If you put $10,000 in B20 a couple weeks ago, you'd have $40,000. Actually, you'd have $50,000. And if you left it in B20 this week, you'd have about $25,000. So what is the point I'm trying to make right here? In this market right now, the worst way to make money is by keeping it in Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is pretty much what everybody is trying to do. When there's actually no huge advantage to having it in these two. Yes, they're going to gradually go up, but when the whales start to dump at the end of this bull run, they're going to go down just like everything else. And frankly, you need to know how to use Ethereum, Bitcoin, and in my opinion, ADA and Polkadot to multiply your investments in the flip coins. What are flip coins? Are the altcoins that everybody talks about. But what I want to show you in this video, with the assistance of Scoot over there, he's very helpful, he makes great trades, is a bunch of trades I've made recently, some that I got in out at the right time and then blew up and I got out of right at the perfect time. Makes me look like a trading god. And other ones where I got in and then I held because everybody in crypto is like, hold, 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 hold. And then I lost all the gains. And I want to show you the thought process behind this, because if you can look at what things are going to do in the market and you can see certain news, certain things that are coming up, or you can just look at the market caps and say, what is this coin going to do? You can make a lot of money very quickly. For example, if you put $10,000 in a B20, you could then go take that $50,000 that you just made from it, all right, that $40,000 profit, then throw that into Ethereum. Ethereum triples, and then you just made $150,000 from that initial investment of $10,000. That's what I want to show you how to do in this video, from my gains, but also my mistakes. And I want to show you some of the coins I've gotten into and how I looked at these coins, not to tell you to invest in them right now. Please don't invest in anything I'm talking about in this video, because they've already done what I needed them to do for the most part. However, if you look at how I'm buying these coins and how I'm sometimes exiting them at the right time and sometimes exiting them at the very wrong time, you're probably going to see a way to make a lot more money than just putting it into Bitcoin and Ethereum and even ADA at this point. And I also want to stress, unlike every other channel on the internet, I'm not particularly a crypto channel. I'm a pretty successful entrepreneur. I got in Bitcoin in March last year when it was the right time to buy. That being said, I simply really enjoy cryptocurrency. I'm here learning a lot of things just with you, and I want to show you a lot of the mistakes I made so that if you don't make these mistakes, you won't make the same mistakes I made, and hopefully you'll make a lot more money by just not making these mistakes. That's it. Not financial advice, not a crypto expert, not even a professional trader. Though these trades I'm going to show you have made me close to $500,000 just this month alone. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so it's actually a great day in the market today. Making a lot of money. Everything's way up. So let me more so focus on what we got going on right here. So let's go back to the beginning of this year. If we put $10,000 into Ethereum right now, as of yesterday, we'd have about $7,000 profit. Not bad. I mean, that's incredible gains. I don't ever want to act like 100% gains in 3 months is, I mean, in crypto, that's terrible. That's terrible, okay? Whereas if we had just put in $10,000 in the Bridge Mutual on this last Tuesday, this is about where I got in at, we'd have gotten a much better ROI. We almost doubled it at this point. Around the same time frame, just at the beginning of this month, if we had put money into Engine, where were we at the beginning of this month? We were at about 80 cents. Now we're at about $2.80. So about almost a, what's the math on that? About a 3x ROI right there. We just tripled our money since the beginning of this month. So this is why I'm kind of always sitting around being like, why would you put your money in Bitcoin and Ethereum when you can do this and then put it in the Bitcoin and Ethereum? Hell, here's one that I'm going to be showing you in this video. So I got into Reef right here around the 13 to 10 cents range, and I exited actually about right here. This was actually one of the good trades I'm going to show you. And so I made an absolute killing on this one right here. Again, just a billion times better returns than Ethereum and Bitcoin. And so what I want to show you is kind of the strategies behind these coins and how you need to be looking at which coins to invest in, but more so how to get out of coins. Because the main thing I see really tripping people up, including myself, is there's this thing called HODL. I'm sure you see people screaming this all the time. And what you need to understand is that people in crypto, I'm going to get crucified for saying this, are mostly religious fanatics about what they invest in. Why? Because it's so much easier to just not question anything and not feel any pain and just look at everything like a religion. And this is why you see people doing this in politics. This is why you see people doing this in religion. This is why you see people doing this with almost every other belief they hold. It's really hard to actually admit that something is just an overvalued thing, and that really it doesn't justify the value that people are paying for it, and that you should probably get out of it, and that it's probably not going to be the future of anything. This is what you have to accept in crypto, because what you need to understand in crypto, above all else, let's look at ADA, for example. This is my favorite coin. Okay, this is where I have most of my investment in. Okay, I also own a lot of Ethereum and whatnot. ADA is worth $40 billion. It has a market cap of $40 billion, and it does not have a working product. Do not tell me that we're not dealing in a super overvalued market. Okay, we are buying and selling hype, FOMO, and news. If we look at Superfarm, okay, this is a project I'm actually crazy bullish on. Has a market cap of $220 million, and they don't have a website. No, seriously, Superfarm doesn't have a website. It has a one-page website. Okay? I'm actually super bullish on this. I think it's going to do great. The reason why I don't touch it right now is because I think the market cap is way too high compared to other projects out there that have a lot more things up and working. But I'm not digging on Superfarm. What I'm saying is that in crypto right now, there's this huge focus on holding things forever and holding things way too long and not selling them. And I'm telling you right now in this video, if you know how to, from just my experience, the last few weeks, I've made comical amounts of money doing this, and I'm not selling anything. I'm not selling this course. I'm not teaching how to do this. I made a lot of money not doing this. And all the times I lost money, all the times I didn't make the profits I could have made, it's when I didn't do this. And there's simply times when you can look at what the market is doing and what a coin is doing and say, you know what, it's probably time to put it in other coins and move it around. And more importantly, what I want to show you that has worked so well for me is going and flipping these coins and then stuffing them into things like ETH, ADA, and DOT to then easily get way more profits than I originally would have. So let me just walk you through a few of these things, and let me walk you through how I'm trading these coins. So let's start with one that I've talked about so far called B20, because I actually saw a friend of mine, he just lost a ton of money in this. So this is a perfect example of not holding till you die. And these are questions I ask myself when I'm getting into coins and when I'm getting out of coins. I don't really like technical analysis. It 100% works and has its place. I'm sure you've been on other channels where there's people going after all these charts and drawing all these lines and everything like that. And a lot of times these things are very correct. For example, I've seen plenty of people who predicted the ADA dip that I'm going to walk you through that I completely missed and fumbled big time. Okay, and I could have made so much money on that one. Okay. That being said, what works best for me as a person that is not an expert crypto trader, but a person that is really good at understanding how people behave, because I'm a copywriter, I'm a marketer. I'm good at predicting what people are going to do in order to sell them things. I'm good at predicting what people are going to think. And so what I like to do is I like to look at the news, and I like to look at what people are doing, and then also just the potential of a coin. Here's the best example. So B20 is something I made a lot of money in. I got in at about $5, $5 to $6, and then I exited at $20. I should have exited at $25, but you're going to see I still got out at a huge profit. Everybody that got out, that held right here, that did the whole thing, they all lost all their money. Okay? So let's go over this right here. So I've already talked about how I found this coin, and it just honestly by browsing Twitter and knowing that the artist behind this fund right here. All right, so this is a collection of all Beeple's artwork. His artwork goes for like $10-20 million a pop right now. His latest one went for $69 million. There was an auction coming up on this day. I knew that when I bought right here, the auction was announced somewhere around here, that when this auction came, it was going to explode. Okay, so what I had to look at right here, and I want to show you everything I did from this trade that I actually used to turn this trade into a lot more money after this exit right here. This coin right here, I knew this auction was coming up, and so my theory was that people were going to dump right before the auction expired. So in like the last hour, I was wrong. People dumped the day before, and then after the auction sold for $69 million, it went back up, and I thought it was going to go back up to 40, but then it started dipping down to $20. And so this is when I decided to exit. I should have exited right here, but as you can see, this was a really good decision right here. And I'm going to tell you how I made all this money that I missed right here in another trade. So here's the things I ask myself when I'm exiting a trade. So first thing I had to ask myself right here is what's coming up for this coin? Because what people are investing in crypto is not the fundamental value of the project. I just pointed out to you two of my favorite projects in crypto that I believe are super overvalued. ADA doesn't have a working project. Superfarm doesn't even have a website. I believe both of these are going to be huge. But again, we're not trading stuff on its fundamental value right now. We're trading, this is speculation. This is goof troopery. This is Uber Cheeseball, Deluxe McGee, monkey dancing around, throwing crap on a wall, trading. Let's just get it straight. And so what I'm trading right here in this coin is hype and FOMO. Okay, you can see that the valuation of this artist projects, his paintings, is significantly higher than when it was right here. Okay, no one thought people's paintings would go for 69 million, so why on earth does it have the same value? Because people are buying and selling news. So I had to think to myself, at $20, what is the potential of this coin right here? Is this going to double again? No, that's the one thing I asked myself. Is it going to double? Is it going to 3x? Is it going to 5x? What are the chances of it doing this? The chances of this getting to $100 are 0. Okay, there's no way it's going to 5x. Okay. 2, is there anything coming up for this? What's the future of this? I really don't see any Beeple options hitting the same amount before that they just hit. I don't see Beeple getting any bigger than he is now. He's absolutely huge. I don't see him getting 2 times bigger than he is right now. Okay? And then 3, with knowing those things, what's the risk to reward? If I get out right now, it might go up to $30. But if I don't get out right now, there's no reason this can't go down to $12. So at this point in time, what I did is I completely exited this position. I sold all of it, okay, for a nice, juicy 4x ROI. Yeah, it was disappointing to not get this $25 and exit at $20, but you can see exactly what happened right here. Why? Because there's no upcoming news. There's no chance of this pumping anymore. And what people are buying right here is the chance for it to pump. That's all people are doing in crypto from my point of view. They're not buying projects, especially the lower altcoins, based on the value of the project. They're buying things based on the news coming up and then predicting that people are going to all pump the coin. It's just people pumping projects and playing musical chairs. And so I thought this musical chair game right here was done. So I exited it. So then what I did is I put it into other positions. What I did with this is I put it into, you can see in this time frame, I took this money out and I put it into BMI. And I already covered why I did this. Because BMI is a project that was trading up here and it has done really poorly lately. And I think a lot of this is connected to paid networks hack. And fundamentally, there's so many things cool coming up for this. And so I thought to myself, okay, the news on this in the future is going to be really good. So I took the hundreds of thousands of dollars I made from the B20 flip, and I put a lot of it into BMI. All right, look at this, bam. All right, that's what I predicted to happen right there, because I thought, okay, the news in the future is going to be coming up. So I'm actually probably going to hold BMI a little bit longer, actually for quite a while, because I love the project, and I think there's no reason why it can't get to a $300 million market cap. It's a great project and there's so much going on there. But again, I think there's a lot coming up for this in the future. So I'm going to hold this because of that. And so I have to ask myself the same questions in B20. What are the chances of this tripling or 5xing? I think the chances of this getting to 500 million are very likely. Okay, BMI has so much going on with it. So I think it could do very, very, very well. Is there anything coming up in the future for this? Yes. And is the market cap, looking at this market cap, because this thing get to $1 billion market cap? Oh yeah, no problem. Okay, so I'm going to hold this versus holding the B20. Okay, another thing I put it into was paid network. All right, and the reason why I did paid network is I knew they just got hacked, and the project was trading at this price, about $4, very, very recently. The project got hacked, took an absolute dump, but the project still has the same team, and a coin getting hacked has nothing to do with the project. So what did I think? Okay, this thing has nowhere to go but up. Okay, it's actually taken a huge bump today. It went from about when I put a lot in the last few days to almost $2.10 or something like that. I also then put it into shopping.io, which was another one I threw a lot of it in because this is just great for e-commerce, and I've worked in e-commerce for a long time and has so much news coming up this month. And then it's gone up to $60 right now. Okay, and so from that, yeah, I lost some money on that initial dip. Okay, I lost some money on that initial dip of B20. I didn't get out at $25 because, you know, I predicted wrong. But I had to think to myself, what do I see prediction-wise happening right here? Nothing. Okay, and you can see I got out of that right at the right time. So I also want to point out one other thing I did with this that worked out really, really well. So around this time frame, what I also did is a lot of time when I make a lot of money on an altcoin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put about 50% into the other cheese coins, for lack of better words. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rest of it in Cardano, Ethereum, and Avalanche. Okay, those are the three. Those are kind of my savings account for this bull run. Why Cardano? I think it's going to do incredible. Why Ethereum? Because if Cardano doesn't work out, Ethereum is still going to do very, very, very well. And then Avalanche is the little brother to both these projects and has a way smaller market cap, so I think it's going to like easily 10x. Okay, so let's look at this right here. Okay? So when I made money from that altcoin, what I then did is I thought to myself, all right, ADA and Ethereum are both going to be going up. So I put a ton of money in ADA right here. You can see, bam, juicy. All right, so I took 50% of what I made from that B20 killing, put it here. Increased it another nearly 30% right here. Also Ethereum, who you guys know I have a super love-hate relationship in. Around March, let's go look at this date right here. Around March 11th when I stuck it in there, it was at like $1,700, and it's still at like $1,700. And this is why I don't like Ethereum, because of this. But I think Ethereum's going to 3 to 5x this bull run. So here's another question you have to ask yourself too. All right, so when a coin hits to a certain place, so B20 hit this place right here, I had to ask myself, what are the odds of this beating my Ethereum or ADA gains? Okay, because those things probably are just going to go up the rest of the cycle. What are the odds of it beating those gains of a 2 to 3x? And if I ever am holding an altcoin where I don't believe it has a strong chance of 2 to 3x, I'm out of it in a second. Okay, I'm not going to hold that thing forever, because I can easily go and take that money that I have right now, take my winnings, and 2 to 3x it in ADA and Ethereum. Okay, so I can just kind of go and just stuff it in there, and so suddenly I have more money in my main investments. That's one thing you want to look at. So I want to show you another trade that I did like this. And I want to stress one thing. I'll talk about trades I've lost on. I've lost money on, like the only ones I've really lost money on are NFTs. I've also lost money on Axion because I keep getting on Axion. I keep wanting to believe in this project right here, but I keep getting in during these pumps thinking, hey, they're about to release a bunch of things. And I keep getting on the tail end of news. So one thing you got to ask yourself too is when you're getting in the project, say, well, what news just happened? Is there any news coming up that's going to pump it further? And so I keep seeing really good news happen in Axion. I see it climbing, and then I get in and lose money in it. Okay. So that's one thing we need to look at right there as well. Let me show you another bad trade I made where I misunderstood this principle. So this isn't really a bad trade, but it's not an excellent trade either. So Cardano around this time frame right here, 90 cents. All right. I had just made a lot of money on a few other alts in Ethereum. Okay. And so I had to think to myself, and I also just stuffed a ton of money in the market because it just dipped. Okay. So, you know, we had that really bad dip, not really bad dip, but we had that dip end of February. Okay. So it dipped hard right here. And so I had to ask myself, all right, what's coming up for this coin in the future? This is really what I trade around. What's coming up for this coin in the future, and what are people going to do? All right, so after a lot of studying and looking at the coin, the Mary Hard Fork update was coming. I thought to myself, people are going to FOMO into this thing, and my estimation was, why would they sell it? The Goguen mainnet is coming in a month or two. Like, why would they sell it right here? This was me being stupid, okay? So what I did is I exited a lot of my Ethereum and I exited a lot of my altcoin winnings, and I stuffed it right here. And so we went all the way from 90 cents to 43 cents. Okay. So I made hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on that trade right there. And then what I did is I just held it. Now, is this a bad move? No, I think ADA is going easily to $4 to $5. I don't really try to flip my long-term holds. These are things I'll hold for a long time. Okay. At least till the end of the bull run, or when it makes sense. Okay. And so what I did right here is I acted like a fucking fool. I broke my rule because at this $1.44, I had to ask myself. I didn't ask myself those questions I did with B20. What's the chance of this coin doubling? Okay. What's the chance of this coin going to $2? Why would it go to a $60 billion market cap? It's just not going to do that. There's no way it's going to do that. All right, so what are people going to do knowing that there's no more news coming up for it? There's no more chance for pump. There's no more pumpdamentals. They're going to dump it. They're going to dump it. And so what I did to myself, I could have easily rolled this back into Ethereum because Ethereum and EIP 155 was coming up. I knew this, and I didn't do it, even though I could easily predict what people were going to do. And so what happened right here? People dumped it, and then what did Ethereum do in this time frame? Ethereum suddenly right after, and I'm back up on Cardano. I was never down on Cardano, but I got in mostly at 70 cents and 90 cents, so I made a lot of money on the 70 cents trades. But then look what Ethereum did in this time frame right here. All right, right after Cardano did its moon, bam, shot the F up. Okay? And so what I should have done, and this is capped in hindsight right there, is again, what you need to realize in crypto, we're not trading technology right now. If we're in a bear market or something, we're maybe trading the technology and the potential. What we're trading right now is news. Literally, Cardano is in a better position than it's ever been before, and it's dumping. Okay? The same thing with B20. Beeple's paintings are more important than they've ever been before in history, and people are dumping it. Why? Because there's no more news. There's no more news that's going to pump it. Okay, then Coinbase came right here, and one of the reasons why I kept holding this, because I knew the Coinbase listing was coming. Okay, so did everybody else. Like, everybody's known the Coinbase listing is coming for the longest time. Okay, so this is an example of me being an idiot and breaking all the rules I just talked about. Now let me show you one more trade that I did recently that really turned out really well. So I'm just doing the replay video with you guys, so maybe you guys can learn from a little bit of what I'm doing. So I got into Reef around this time frame right here, and I exited just a couple days ago up here. Now, why did I exit this? All right, so this thing shot up to what's the market cap at right now? So it's almost half what it is. All right, so this thing shot up to like a $700 million market cap. And frankly, I've watched Reef for a while, and a friend got me into it, and just the whole project's been kind of shaky. And then they got a bunch of FUD, which is bad news. And so the thing was just kind of like, it just really shot up right here, and I had to ask myself, what news is coming up for Reef in the future that's going to get this thing to $1 billion or 1.5 billion? Is it going to 2 to 3x? And I'm just like, no, it's not. It's literally not going to 2 to 3x. It's just not going to do that. And so what did I do at this point? So I took the hundreds of thousands of dollars I made right here, and what did I do with it? I did the same exact thing I usually do. Okay, put 50% in Ethereum and ADA. Okay, that dump into ADA right here is paid off very well off the Coinbase listing, and Ethereum is booming today. So all that money I put in there went up. And guys, I want to stress, I'm not some soothsayer. Really, luckily, my friend actually called this one, and I agreed with him. Then it dumped. So I look like a damn genius right here. I did not call this dump. I just want to stress that. Okay, I just said this isn't going anywhere. So actually, with B20 in this, I've called 2 dumps and gotten out. Best crypto trader ever. Anyways, guys, I'm joshing around there. I'm again just looking at the news, and so I thought to myself, all right, so what things are going to explode? All right, so let me show you where I stuffed all this money. All right, so the first place I stuffed the money into was StormX. Why did I do this? Well, frankly, because JRNY Crypto said it's great, and he's like the news monster. Okay, so I stuffed it in here, made a killing. All right, I stuffed a lot in there, did very, very well. Why again? Because I'm not a genius trader. JRNY Crypto is extremely accurate with his news predictions. So I just stuffed it in there. That's all I did. That's all I did, and I think there's a lot more coming up for StormX. Okay, where else did I put the money into? I put the money into shopping.io. I just put more of it in there. Again, made a lot of money on this one right here. Why did I put that one? I absolutely love this coin. I think it has a lot of potential, and there's a lot of news coming up for it. That's it. That's it. I understand e-commerce. I understand what this coin does. I love the project. I think the news coming up is fantastic. Guys, I want to stress as well, please do not buy these. Please do not buy these. These things have already pumped. I'm showing you things that I've made money in. There's likely going to be a correction. If you put money into these things right now, I think they're probably going to go back down. Also, if you guys all jump in these videos and pump these up, I own these and I will sell them. I've literally showed you guys what I do each time I think something's price is too high. I dump it, okay? So if you pump this up, I will dump it. I will dump it. So don't buy it, okay? Or at least if you do buy it, don't think I'm going to hold it through your pumps, okay? So I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing. Okay, another project I put it in was OVR. Why did I do this one? Very simple. If I'm trying to make a high ROI in something, I look at what other things are booming at the same time. Mana has been absolutely booming, which is basically Decentraland. And so what this is doing is it's selling virtual land. through augmented reality. Look, guys, I'm going to be straight with you. I think augmented reality and VR are the future, but more so, I think people are just willing to jump in the FOMO and hype of buying virtual NFT land and virtual land in general. Why? News and FOMO. News and FOMO. I think there's a ton of news and FOMO coming on this, and that's why I bought it, okay? That's literally it, okay? So since I've got into this, around when I dumped Reef, it's done really well. And then the other one I got into was Saki token for the same exact reason. People are really going after swaps and swap technologies. And so why did I go after this one right here? Really, really simple. If Uniswap and 1inch are blowing up, this one's going to blow up too. Because again, hype and FOMO. That's exactly what I did right there. And I said, what news is coming up on these projects? A lot of it was the market trending towards these directions. And so I have to ask myself, again, looking at these, let's go look at, like, for example, StormX, okay? Let's do it. Let's do a deeper analysis on this one. So one of the reasons why I'm a big fan of StormX and one of the reasons why I'm a big fan of Avalanche is I look at the market caps of these projects and I look at projects that are similar to them, okay? So the market cap on Avalanche is $4 billion. The market cap on Cardano is $40 billion. The market cap on Ethereum is $200 billion or something right now. I'm not exactly sure. Same thing with StormX. And so when I look at these projects right here, the market caps just have so much further to grow, and they have so much more news coming up. In order for Cardano to double, $40 billion has to dump into it. In order for this one to 5x, just $1 billion has to come into it. It's a great project. And again, there's a lot of news coming up with it. And mostly JNRY Crypto said it's going to do good. So if it does bad, we're just going to blame that one on him. But another one he's talked about a lot that I looked into and I researched a lot of, same exact thing. I'm going to look at the market caps. That's why another one of my big investments that I dump money into when I make altcoin trades is going to be Litecoin. Another one of Journey's picks. Okay, if you guys notice, I do a lot of the same thinking that he does because I steal his thinking and then I think about it and it makes sense to me. But another one I really like is Litecoin because, again, look at the market cap on this compared to all the other top 10 altcoins. There's no reason this can't get to 100 billion. Okay, there's no reason this can't 10x. It has a lot higher chance of getting to 10 billion or 100 billion than Ethereum has of getting to $1 trillion, in my opinion. I think they'll both do that. But again, I got to think to myself when I'm looking at these coins. Okay, that's the big thing I wanted to focus on this entire video. When I see something go up, I got to ask myself, is it going to 2 to 3x easily? If not, why not just put it in Litecoin, Ethereum? And then also, if I'm looking for that, when I'm in an altcoin, I'm looking for a nice juicy 5 to 10x very quickly. Okay, so again, when I'm doing this, I'm going to think to myself, all right, so is there any news or is there anything coming up that's going to 5 to 10x this? If the answer is no, I'm going to get out of it. Why? Because the reason why people are buying altcoins is the juicy news that makes it go 10x for no reason. That's why people buy altcoins. The second there is no potential for that juicy 5 to 10x, we're going to get this gradual, okay? And so that's what I look for. Either that or altcoins that are down on their luck like Paid Network or BMI were a few days ago. Now they're charging right back, okay? So that's what I'm going to be looking for in this bull run. I wanted to make this video because you guys seem to really like the last video, and this video also put Scoot to sleep because it's so boring. But again, when I first got in this market, my biggest mistake was just, hey, pour it all in the Ethereum and Bitcoin and then like maybe have a few little altcoins. And then suddenly all my altcoin investments have made me more than my Ethereum investment, even though there's like 1/10 of the money in the altcoins. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe I'll hold altcoins. And then I started holding altcoins. And then the altcoins go, woo! And I'm like, yeah, it's just going to keep going up forever. And then it goes, woo! And I'm like, oh, okay. So the way that I've made a lot of money this month is understanding these news cycles that are going on with the altcoins and then being okay saying, you know what? People probably aren't going to hold this month and bouncing to other coins. And then again, most importantly, taking my profits on these coins when they are up and then putting them into things I know they're going to 2 to 3x. Litecoin, Ethereum, ADA, Avalanche, I'm all super big on. Because again, if I don't see a coin 4 to 5xing pretty easily, even 2 to 3xing very easily, why not just stuff it in those 4? Because they're gonna 3 to 4x, and so I can just guarantee or lock in that 4x. Guaranteed in the sense of the word that, hey, these could crash at any day now, and this is, again, cheeseball, degenerate investing 101. But understanding that, in the terms of cheeseball investing, those are the best bets for a nice, easy 2 to 5x. So why would I want to keep rolling the dice in this altcoin that's valuation is already pumped up by FOMO on its own? So that's the logic for today, guys. If you like stuff like this, you want to see other things I'm picking, you want to get in the giveaways, I'm literally giving away my stimulus check today on my Twitter. You should follow me at ZSS Becker because I talk a lot of crypto and I just do a lot of giveaways. I gave away a moon cat today valued at $1,000. It's a good place to be. And I'd like to be able to yell at you on Twitter and on YouTube as well. Other than that,